Romney then stood up and walked away. A man told him, "Your legacy is nothing." And the woman said, "You're a joke. Absolute joke." On board the plane, Romney discovered many of the other passengers were Trump supporters en route to Washington, presumably for the next day's protests. At one point in the flight, a woman cried out to other passengers to tell the senator what we think. A large group of passengers then chanted, "Traitor! Traitor! Traitor!" One of them shouted, "Resign, Mitt!" Videos of Romney's terminal interactions and of the onboard heckling were posted on Twitter and went viral. A little later that evening, the Georgia results came in. It was a bloodbath for Republicans. Warnock defeated Loeffler by 93,550 votes, and Ossoff defeated Perdue by 54,944 votes. The Democrats had taken the Senate. Too many Republican voters believed their vote wouldn't count and stayed home. It was just as McConnell feared, and he was now the minority leader. Graham called Trump that night to let him know that he planned to vote the next day to certify the presidential election results. Trump was upset and appealed to Graham to join Cruz, Hawley, and the other rebels set on objecting. But Graham wouldn't have it. "Mr. President, I've been very supportive of you challenging, but there's no more asphalt on the highway," Graham told him. "We've come to an end here." 21. The Insurrection. As the sun rose over Washington on January 6th, electricity hung in the air. The big day had come. Thousands of President Trump's supporters began gathering at the Ellipse to stake out a good spot from which to see the president, who was scheduled to address the Save America rally around noon. Organizers had obtained a federal permit for 30,000 people, but it looked as if the crowd would be even larger than that. Thousands more prepared to make their way toward the Capitol to protest the certification of Joe Biden's election. At the White House, Trump set the tone for the day with an 8:17 a.m. tweet. "States want to correct their votes, which they now know were based on irregularities and fraud, plus corrupt process never received legislative approval. All Mike Pence has to do is send them back to the states, and we win. Do it, Mike. This is a time for extreme courage." Many of Trump's advisers knew this would never actually happen. They chalked the president's tweet up to theater. Vice President Pence could have the courage of a lion, but there was no doubt he would fulfill his constitutional duty and preside over the pro forma certification of Biden's win. As one senior official recalled, "All of us knew this was the end game. The clock had run out. By January 6th, it was game over. We knew we would take the blows. This was date certain. The vice president knew this." As Nancy